So there's three kinds of lies. There's lies, damn lies, and then statistics. You ever hear that saying?
Yes,
Well, this
yes.
proves it. Let's watch.
Pfizer reported that its vaccine shows a 95% efficacy. That sounds like it protects you 95% of the time, right? But that's not actually what that number means. That 95% refers to the relative risk reduction, but it doesn't tell you how much your overall risk is reduced by vaccination. For that, we need absolute risk reduction. In the Pfizer trial, 8 out of 18,198 people who were given the vaccine developed COVID-19. In the unvaccinated placebo group, 162 people got it, which means that even without the vaccine, the risk of contracting COVID-19 was extremely low at 0.88%.
So without the vax, your risk of getting COVID was 0.88%, less than 1%. Now, if you got the vaccine, that risk drops to what?
Which the vaccine then reduced to 0.04%. So the net benefit, or the absolute risk reduction that you're being offered with a Pfizer vaccine is 0.84%. That 95% number, that refers to the relative difference between 0.88 and 0.04%.
So it lowered your risk less than 1%.
Sure.
They told people that. Like, well, if you get this COVID shot, I hate to call it a vaccine. When you get this COVID shot, it'll lower your risk of getting COVID by less than 1%. Do you think people would have taken it? But no, so they don't tell you that. They tell you it reduces your chances by 95%. That's the relative risk. That's a statistical trick that they're using to deceive you because they know that you don't know the difference between relative risk and absolute risk. They know you don't know that. I didn't know it. And that's how they can mislead you and lie to you. And they did.
That's what they call 95% relative risk.
So when they bring your risk of getting it from 0.88 down to 0.04, which I'm not a mathematician, but that's less than 1%, they call it 95% reduction. So instead of saying less than 1%, they'll tell you it has 95%. That's what they were doing to lie to you.
Reduction. And relative risk reduction is well known to be a misleading number, which is why the FDA recommends using absolute risk reduction instead.
Even the FDA recommends you don't use relative risk reduction number to give to people. Even they recommend you use the absolute risk. Even the FDA recommended that, and they ignored their own recommendations and misled you.
Which begs the question, how many people would have chosen to take the COVID-19 vaccines had they understood that they offered less than 1% benefit?